Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Daniel, aka HashLips, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's our part 3 of the update of the game that I'm busy making. So this is going to be exciting. Let's get into the new updates. Last weekend, I spent most of my time designing the inside of the art studio. This is the studio that the character can enter. I've also added some face brick here on the front of this studio. So I thought it's important for us to have this layout, and I just thought of adding a wall here and there, and then filling the room with some significant pieces of the puzzle of this game. So as the character walks through the scene, they can go and get some information about these artworks and these books, because books play an important role in this game. And so I've also designed a few books that's going to give you some powers and all sorts of cool things as the game unfolds. And these books are going to be very cool. They're also going to be scattered around the world, the way you can uncover and find them. But you can only do so if you participate and listen to the clues around you. And I wanted to make the game so that if you play it once, you won't be able to find all of them, and then every time you play it, you might have a different experience as well. So that's something I want to play with as we design the game. So as for the game itself, I've done a few things. The first thing that I did a major update on is this UI system. So I found that, for some items, it's not going to be very useful to purely have just text. We might need to show an asset that we are referring to. And also, if we look at the animation of one of these cards, if I can just click on it, there we go. You can see that I've got an info one, I've got a thought, and then I also have a talk. And this is done so that when you interact with a character, eventually the different info screen pops up. If you look at an item, a different info screen then can show. And also, if I look at the code here, I made this system so that it can choose which one to show, if it has an asset or not, which is very interesting how this works. And I can show you now. If we go to the inside of this studio, if I click on a trigger, you can see all the different variables. So we've got the info, does it have an asset, also a stage, because eventually you're going to interact with a character, and the stage that it's on is going to depend on what the character needs to say. So that's very important. And then I also have a type, and this is just to govern which info and also which sound to play. So let me show you the gameplay. Okay, so now we're in the game. And I want you to pay attention that if the camera moves, we are following the character, right? And as we try and go into this building, it cuts to a new scene. And now the parallax is not there. And I want this to be like this so that there's not too much distraction. So as you can hear, the footsteps still works. And now what will happen if we go up to one of these artworks? We get to this ping, and you can see that it even gets the asset right. And so I can go to this one, and I don't want to reveal too much about the game, but essentially you get these info pings. And just to show you the switch is, if I go to this artwork, it kind of does a and that's just thought. The character is thinking for themselves about it. And then again, I can easily switch this out if I want to observe something like this book. So this is the main function that I wanted to get right, because this I'm also going to apply to future buildings. And I wanted to make this easy enough for me to replicate, and I'm still working out some kinks, but I think it's good for the most part. And again, we can just exit, and now we're back in our world where the same triggers can be triggered. One thing that I would like to point out is how do I get this character to move from one layout to another and still be there? Well, that is because the player itself, if I unlock this, you can see that the player is set to global. This means that it will move between layouts. And that also means that for the B1 studio, which is just building one, it uses the same event sheet. So it uses the same code base as the entire world. That's how I can still get the character's movement, the footsteps, and all that kind of good stuff. So that is the first thing I just wanted to mention, because there's many ways of doing this, but you still need to figure out if this method would work for your game. Sometimes it's better to just recreate the character there, or sometimes it's better to keep everything as it is, but just move the character to a new screen. If you do this, then things like your main menu, when you enter the main menu, then you probably need to remove your character again, hide it, or whatever the case might be. And also for the GUIs, because they are also global at this stage. But that's the fun about game development. You will develop something and then you'll realize that you need to kind of rectify it, or you need to refactor. And before we end off this video, I would like to just touch on that this is extremely fun for me to build this game. I also am developing and creating each asset by itself, so it's taking me a good amount of time over my weekends, but I must say this has been a project that I'm really enjoying, and I do hope that you are enjoying the progress as much as I am building this. So let me know in the comments if you are, if you would like to keep seeing these updates, and till then, I'll see you in the next video.